So let me get started about the FernUni in Hagen. So where is actually the FernUniversität? We are located in Germany, as you might have guessed already. So you can see it here on the screen. We are quite close by to Düsseldorf, which is the main capital in the western region of Germany. And here you can see it as well. Here in Hagen is a city. It's a small city, rather. But actually, it doesn't matter where our university is because we are a distance teaching university. We are founded in 1975, which means we are almost 50 years old. So next year we will have a big celebration about our university being 50 years old. And in addition to our campus, main campus in Hagen, we have 13 other campus locations all over Germany and also 7 campus locations abroad. So we have campus offices in the big cities like Berlin, Hamburg, or Munich, all over Germany. And we also have several campus locations in Austria, in Switzerland, and also in Hungary, in Budapest. We have a campus location. So that is where you can actually find us. So if you talk about FernUni, what is most noteworthy is that it's actually one of the largest universities in Germany student-wise. We have a really large student body. So here you can see some of the core numbers about our universities. We have almost 70,000 active students at our university, more than any other public university in Germany. Well, part of it, half of it are women. And what is also quite striking is that most of our students are studying while they are working. How that is possible, I will explain later during my presentation. We also have 15% of our students that do not have a traditional university entrance qualification or a high school diploma, but they still have the possibility to study at our university. And what I will also mention later a bit more in detail is that 7.3% of our students live abroad and not in Germany itself. So it is possible to study at FernUni without being in Germany. But again, I will explain later how that actually works. But that's enough about the university in general. I will talk a bit more about our students and why our students have chosen FernUni for their study, and why especially distance learning. There are some good reasons to study at our university. For example, if you're studying in several places at the same time and you want to do another degree program, maybe in addition to the degree programs that you are already taking part in. Or if you are living abroad and you want a German degree program, it is quality assured. We have accredited degree programs, so our diplomas have the same value as any other diploma of different public universities in Germany. If you have care activities and you do not have much time and it's too much a hassle to go to a traditional on-campus university to be there yourself, you can also enroll in our programs. Another reason is, of course, if you are involved in other projects and your time is also limited and it's hard for you to physically attend a university. And it's especially good if you're looking for a qualification while you are already working full time, and it is most of the times not so easy to enroll in a traditional university. So here we see a quotation of one of our most famous alumni. He is Matthias Maurer, and he's an astronaut. And he himself said that being able to study while in different countries was very helpful for him. His business studies at the FernUni Hagen were enormously important for his part of working life. So now we come to the most important part about studying at FernUni in Hagen and how it actually works. So as I mentioned before, we offer bachelor and master diplomas that are accredited, and you have with them a real full-time or part-time possibility to have a diploma that is acknowledged all in Germany. It has the same value as diplomas from other universities. So I will give you an overview about what makes it special and how it works in a few aspects. So if you think about distance studying or distance teaching, of course, what is most important is digital learning, as you already probably have made some experiences with, especially during the pandemic. Of course, online learning have become much more important. So for our studies, we use Moodle as a learning platform. Moodle is the main platform where you can log in, where you can have an overview of your courses, where you have your learning materials. We have in our courses video lectures, but some teachers also use podcasts, quizzes, and so on. You can hand in assignments through Moodle as well, for example. And you can access your learning materials every time. In addition to that, we also have a learning app, which helps you to group up with peers. Because of course, distance studying is a bit different than traditional studying. It is hard to meet other people, but you do not need to be alone. You still have to do some group work together. That is part of every study, and you can use the learning app to find other people. And if you find it more easy to study together with other fellow students. We also have an online-based library service, so you can access the services also from all over the world. You can order all the materials that you need and access them online. About organizing our studies, your studies. Our study system is the same as any other university. We have the semester system. We have 2 semesters each year, the winter semester and the summer term. And at the beginning of the term, you can choose the courses that you want to take part in. You can register for them. And we have a single login system, the study port. It's a portal where you can see all your courses that you have registered in. You can access and print your study certificates, and you can manage your account all from one platform that you can access easily. So that makes it easy for you to organize all of your studies. And I just quickly answer it because it's just now arrived in the chat. The question, yes, it's a study port is a system that you can use both mobile on your phone and web-based. It doesn't matter which one. So about the study materials, we have different systems of study materials. One option is, as I mentioned before, that we have the systems online based, for example, as in PDF, where we have the literature. But what we also have, if you like to, it's not obligatory, but you can get a so-called study brief, we call it, Studienbrief. Then you get all your study materials in print, like a book, and it's being shipped to you. And no matter where you are, it's shipped worldwide. Some like it, others prefer the online option. Some like it that they have all the necessary literature and information they need at the beginning of the semester. What is also important, if you have any chronic disease or if you have certain issues, for example, for blind people, we offer barrier-free materials. You can contact our universities, so every information that is necessary, we can make accessible to you. So, as I mentioned before, we have the campus locations. So what is their function actually? How can you use them? They are the first contact persons for the in-person support, so you can get counseling on any issue about your studies, advisory service. For example, if you're still not studying at FernUni and you want to get more information, but also if you're already studying and you want to know how certain things work out, and you can contact our colleagues there at the campus locations, and they are happy to provide you with any support and advice. We also have mentors and tutors. At our university, most of them is online counseling, but also if you like, you can meet them in the campus locations and get in-person mentoring and tutoring. We also have some seminars and hybrid events that take place in person. Most of them are not obligatory, or they are hybrid, so they take place in presence. If you like that, you can go there and take place, meet other people. But if you do not have the opportunity, for example, if you live abroad, you can also watch them online. But also we have a few, oh, sorry, that was me. We have a few skills workshops that you can take place in, and you can use, of course, the offices at the campus locations just for your learning. If you, for example, if at home it's too busy for you, it's too, yeah, you cannot concentrate well enough, you can use those locations. So one important factor is, of course, the question about exams. We have exams like any other university at the end of the semester, and there are all kinds of different type of exams. There can be oral exams. Sometimes you have to hand in a written paper, and sometimes you have to take a traditional written exam. Yeah, you can decide yourself in which exam you want to take part in. If you studied a semester but you don't feel quite ready, you don't have to take the exam. We have some in-person exams at our campus locations. If you are not located in Germany or Austria or Hungary, you can still take part and do an exam. We have cooperations, for example, with the Goethe Institutes all over the world, or the German Academic Exchange Service with German consulats. So you can take your exam there as well. But we also have some online-based exams. At the moment, it's a bit mixed because we are experimenting with the online proctoring exams where you stay at home and you do the exam at your computer. But it depends a bit on the teacher, and they decide which kind of exams you can take. Yes, so as you can see, it's quite mixed, and you can check with each course or teacher what kind of exam you have to take place in. So last but not least, also the aspect of internationalization. We have in our courses also international courses where you get in touch with other international students. We have cooperations with other universities all over the world. Some of them are also distance teaching universities, which makes sense, of course, so we can get students of our universities in touch with each other. They work together in groups. In addition, we also have the virtual mobility corporations, so you can study modules at one of the other distance teaching universities in Europe for one semester, and you can use that for your home study. In addition to that, we also have physical exchange. It is possible as well at our university. Of course, not many of our students use it because most of the time students are too busy to go abroad and do a semester at a different university physically, but it's still possible via Erasmus. You probably already have heard of. Then we have the English learning support. We have we don't offer many foreign languages, but we have the English learning support where you can improve your English learning skills. And we have German language courses. I will get back to that later. So I just wanted to show you, I cannot log in right now because it's a bit complicated technical wise, but I show you a screen of our study port. It's unfortunately now in German, but here you can see how it looks, and you have the buttons, and there you can see if you want to register for a course, you can do it with one button. You have this one, it's for exams, your contact information, your certificates. So it's quite simple. And this is an example. It's a bit small. I don't know if you can scroll. I can try to enlarge it a bit, of a Moodle course. It's of one of our summer schools that took place in the summer, an international summer school about climate adaptation. And this is just an example how a course in Moodle can look like. It's really different for each teacher, how he organizes it. And for example, you can see different categories. You can see the participants. You have different sections in this summer school. We had different sections for each day. So you can just click on the day, first day, Monday, and see all the information that's necessary, like a Zoom link where we met in person. Or here you can see it also. Before the summer school, we had people introduce themselves, so you can get to know also your fellow students online. So now a bit about our study programs, what we offer at our university. We have 5 faculties in total: economics, law, psychology, mathematics and computer science, and humanities and social science. All of our bachelor programs can be studied without NC. It's numerus clausus. It's in German a specific entrance qualification, which is necessary for some studies, but not at our university. As I mentioned, they are flexible. You can decide if you want to study part-time or full-time. Both is possible. You yourself, you decide the pace of your study. You only study as much as you want. If you want to do only one course in one semester, that is totally fine. But if you're fast and if you have enough time, you can also do much more if you like. And in total, we have 29 bachelor degrees and master degrees. So as I mentioned, bachelor and master, part or full-time. Again, it doesn't matter how much you do for each semester. You do not have to decide at the beginning of your study, I want to do full or part-time. Each semester you can switch the pace. In addition to bachelor and master programs, we have continuing education. This targets working professionals. If you already have a career and you want to have a certificate about a certain skill, for example, project management, you can do a course at our continuing education institute, which offers scientific courses based or targeting certain skills. The difference to our bachelor master program is that they cost a bit more. Then we also have the open access studies. This is a nice program. You can take part in courses, basic courses of our bachelor programs without any entrance qualification. You can just register for it. It doesn't matter if you fulfill any of the requirements. And it's quite nice if you want to check if you like studying at our university. If you're not sure about the program, if that's the right thing for you, you can just start with it and have a look at it, how it works. We are quite like any other traditional university. We do research at our university, so you can do your PhD and doctorate, get a habilitation. So our university also does research. We have research clusters and various research projects. And last but not least, we offer a few certificates that are smaller than a bachelor degree, exactly half, for example, 60 ECTS. And you can use those certificates for a certain topic. For example, if you want to study computer science and you do not want to do a complete program of computer science, you can do the certificate that is targeted, for example, at a certain topic like data analysis. And after we have 60 ECTS, you can get the certificate on that. Another important aspect, of course, are the costs of our studies. We are a public university, so our costs are quite low in comparison to all the distance teaching universities that exist in Germany, but which are private and are much more costly. So you pay, it depends a bit on the courses that you choose, but it's about 300 euros for one semester if you study full-time. If you study part-time, of course, it's less. If you only have one course, it's much less. So for a bachelor degree, it costs about 2,000 euros in total if you finish it. And of course, you only pay for each semester that you do a course. If, for example, one semester you do not have any courses, you make a break, you do not have to pay anything. Because the costs include the shipping of the study materials, also the supervision and tutoring. Now, of course, if you take part in an exam outside of Germany or Hungary and Austria, you will also have to pay for the exam if you do an in-person exam at one of our partner institutions like the Goethe Institute, because they take a certain fee for the exam, which is about, I don't know it by heart, it's 100 euros, something like that. If you cannot afford studying at our university, we do have fellowships for students that have limited financial capabilities. Then you will have to hand in a few documents proving that your financial situation, and so you can be exempt of some of the study fees. So the next topic will be the entrance qualifications. What do you need to be allowed to study at our university? Normally, in general, you need a high school diploma or any equivalent qualification. There's a data bank which is used by all universities where the colleagues at the central service check your high school diploma, if it's equivalent, or if you still have to do some kind of Studienkolleg that you have heard of maybe. However, what you can see here in the green bubble, it's a test AS. It's an option. If you do not have a high school entrance qualification right now, you can do the test AS. It's offered by an institute, offered worldwide. You can take the exams. It's it's not a knowledge test, but it's a test which proves that you are eligible to study. And with this certificate, if you get enough points, you can also start studying at our university, even if you do not have the entrance qualification. We just started to implement it at our university, so you cannot find any information on it yet online, but we will implement it for the next summer term next year, so you can start studying at that. For our German degree programs, of course, you need sufficient German language skills, level C1. There's a list online where we list which kinds of proofs we can accept for the language program. Also, if you already started a bachelor degree in your home country, you can also start studying at our university. And here again, we have the dates for the enrollment for the winter semester and the summer semester. It's the same time each year. And the winter term, it starts in October, and the summer term in April, and quite some time before you can enroll. You can also contact our student service, and they check if you can enroll in our university, or if there's anything else that you need. What you also can do is go and check out our Study Navi International. It's an online self-assessment that you can take a look in, and you can just go through it and see if you have the right expectation about studying at our university, or if it's different. What is maybe also interesting for you to know is that if you do not live in Germany and you want to study at our university, you do not need proof of health insurance. Usually, if you study at a German university, you need to show that you have health insurance, but it's not necessary for our university because you do not need to be in Germany. So that is, of course, a big factor. Of course, on the other hand, you also do not get a visa for Germany if you study. So I think which is also quite interesting for you to know about the language courses that we offer. We offer online-based language courses in our project Study Bridge. They are free of charge, and they address both our international students that are already enrolled, but also prospective students. If you do not study yet at our university, you need to be living in Germany and have a refugee status. So that is the only requirement that you need to enroll in our language course. Otherwise, you can still enroll in our university and take part as a FernUni student. The level is about B1, B2. It differs each time a bit, and each course takes 3 months in total. And it's about roughly 12 hours a week, so it's quite an intensive course, which should prepare you for studying at our university. So, but if you have questions about that, I can answer them also later, anytime. With the Study Bridge, you can also enter FernUni glossary information material, also in English. Okay, and the last slide, basically the contact information. You can download. I'm not sure if you can download the presentation, but I can give you the presentation afterwards, so you can have all the contact information that you need. Of course, you can contact the international office, but also about general information, the study council service, or here you have the Zulassung Ausland. If you have specific questions about enrollment. Oh, what I forgot to mention is you can enroll digitally nowadays. So you do not need to send your documents in paper to our university. You also do not need to travel to Germany to do it. You can do it online. So that's for now. Thank you for your attention. I will now switch to the Q&A section so I can answer your questions. So maybe some of them already had been answered, but I will still go through it. So we start at the beginning. One of the questions, most of our students are postgraduated, over 30 plus students. Yes and no. In general, if you take the mean average of our students, they are about 30 years old, it's true, and most of them are working, but it's quite diverse. We have a lot of students that are also younger. For example, we have some students that are still going to school and enrolled in our university in the open access program because they are quite, they are quite smart and they want to do a lot, and they already want to start their study. So we have them as well, but we also have some older students. So it's really, really mixed. So next question, study port is a united system both for PC and mobile devices. Yes, I answered that already. So yes, it's both. You can manage of all offline routine in any campus. So if I understand it correctly, so yes, you can study offline. Yes, you do not need to be present in Hagen. You also do not need to be present close to any of our campus locations because it's basically digitally based, our studies. If you want to, it's fine. You can go to events, you can go to the campus locations, but you don't have to. And you can get your study materials and even work for some courses offline for a while. Then the question about entrance exams for FernUniversität programs. I mentioned it just shortly before. We do not have entrance exams as such. Normally, we just have the high school leaving certificate, the diploma from your high school, which qualifies you for studying at our university. Normally, that's enough. But for international students now, for the next summer term, we offer the test AS, the test S. It's a test for international students, and it's a competency test that you can take. And if you have average or above average grade in this test, you can also start studying at our university. It's not made specifically for our program, but for all kinds of universities. So you even can go to other universities when you take this exam. Okay, the next question, can I apply for a scholarship while studying in a distance learning program, for example, the AAD? Yes, you can. Well, it depends. Does a scholarship address studying at our university? It depends a bit on the program. In general, you can, for example, as I mentioned, the Erasmus, you can take part in Erasmus as a student at our university. And the DAD, yeah, it depends a bit what you want to do and where you are living. If you're living, for example, in Australia and you want to get support for a fellowship to study in a different country for one semester, sometimes that's not possible because you need to be in Germany. But in general, it's not a problem that you're studying at our university. Okay, Nina has a question. Which Studienkolleg can you recommend? Okay, so we do not have a Studienkolleg as such at our university, but Currently, we take part in a project to build a digital Studienkolleg, which has the advantage you can take part in the Studienkolleg without already moving to Germany, without having the high costs, and to do it in a distance program. It's called Vorsprung. After that, I will give you a bit more information. It's a project, it's recently started, and I think you can enroll for it in the next year, 2024 autumn. So that is a program I can recommend, but otherwise we do not have a Studienkolleg on our own. So Bodana asks, how much does it cost to live in Hagen per month? So if you want to actually move to Hagen, which you can do, of course, well, Hagen is a city, it's not a big city like Cologne or Berlin and Hamburg. And in that sense, it's quite much more cheaper to live in. The rent is about 500 euros. Yeah, rent is quite high in Germany, and cost of living. So it depends a bit, of course, on your standard, what you are used to, but 1,500 euros you should have for the health insurance, for rent, and enough for food and transportation. But in generally, Hagen is indeed quite cheaper than any other cities. Yes, another question about the exams. You said that exams are partially taken on paper. You are sending a task. Should I do it? And how can I send it to you? Scan or mail or post? It depends a bit on the exam. For example, if you have to write a paper, if you take that example, you can take your time to, you have a semester. During the semester, you can already do your paper and you have to hand it in until a certain deadline. Usually you send it in via email, as far as I know. Big papers you just send via email. But you can also send in certain assignments through Moodle. Then you have in Moodle assignments or quizzes that you have to take also in a certain time frame, and then you send it. Usually you do not have to send anything via mail, post service, that you don't have to do. Next question is in German. I will just translate it in English. So the question is if a student can get reduced fees. Ermäßigung auf die Studiengebühren. As I mentioned before, we have a program. If you have financial troubles, you can apply for fellowships. I can also post a link a bit later in the chat where you can find it. Don't want to skip any question. Please tell how online learning relates to using the capabilities of the Erasmus Plus program. Interesting questions. I'm not sure how I understand it correctly, but probably is it about Erasmus mobility? So you can go to a different country as you for a semester, for example. If that is what it's meant, you can do that. You can apply for the Erasmus program and go to another university, also physical university, and do a semester abroad and be funded through Erasmus. The only thing is that, of course, for example, if you're living far away from Germany, you won't get a higher Erasmus fee just because you have a big travel. But in generally, it's possible. I hope that answers the question a bit. Otherwise, you can just ask again. I will also go through the questions that are in the public chat mode in a bit when I'm through with the other ones. So is it possible to enroll in open access studies courses without being a university student, and what are the conditions? Yes, exactly. You do not need to be a university student. You do not need to have any qualification whatsoever. So it's a really simple form. I will write you in the chat. You can just really easily fill out a form with your address, your name, what course you are interested in. in general, you can take part in the basic modules and courses of our study programs, but they are the same, what students do. And yeah, then you can start studying. And that is quite nice because, for example, let's say you don't have the German qualification yet, which is necessary, but you're taking part in a course and you know you want to start studying next semester. So you can already take part in the open access studies and do a course in the meantime. And if you switch to the degree program as a usual student, then you can take that course with you. So you already made it, you already finished it. So it's also a good mode for preparation of your studies. So the next question is about the study bridge program, about some details, how many lessons per week and how long, and how much does it cost. A bit I answered already, I think, but I will repeat it. It's for free. It's online based, and one course goes for 3 months. And we have 12 hours a week, different days. So it's quite a lot. It's quite intensive. It depends, the time depends a bit on the course. It's afternoon or early evening, so that you can do it even if you are working more or less. Yes, so that is it. They're soon starting the next registration phase for the next course for next year, because the current course it's already full. But then you can register easily for the next one. And it will start at the beginning of 2024. And we have a really nice, let me just already write in the chat the link to the page before I forget it. Can you take lectures in Fern without offline part? If the students can't leave Ukraine for now, yes, you can. We have some seminars, lectures that take place in person, but most of them are hybrid anyway, so they are also online available. Or you don't have to do them. You have a different mode. If there's a certain seminar, you can choose a different seminar to do. So you do not need to come to Germany during your studies. For some things that might be easier, but if it's not possible, that's okay. You don't need to do it. The next question is, do you have economics in English? We do not have, unfortunately, at least not yet, for bachelor or master degree in English. We have certain courses in economics that are in English, and you can register for them in the open access program. I will also briefly send you the link. There are a few programs. And you can see at the bottom of the page, there are the economics section, and you can find the courses that are in English and that you can take part in. But other than that, the degree programs are in German. Okay. Okay, Jan is asking, he has already obtained the higher education in Ukraine in international relations, and asked if it's possible to update to grade to bachelor or higher. So you could, if you already have a bachelor degree, you can easily enroll either in a bachelor degree as well or in a master program. Thing is, of course, as well, the language part. We have a few courses in English, but not a complete degree program. We are working on it, and there will be maybe in 2 years there will be the first English master program. But unfortunately, it's only single courses at the moment that we offer in English, and not a full degree program. So you can check in the list if you see any English courses that interests you. Otherwise, degree program, you would need to learn German. Next question, if you teach designers? No, unfortunately not. We do not have design. So Nina is asking, she's finishing the Ukraine school this year and want to study IT in English. Yeah, again, there's the same question about the English. We do not have yet a complete English degree, just a few courses. Next question, it's a nice question, actually. Do you have any international connections with any Ukrainian universities? I know that we have research connections with Ukraine universities. It's not a teaching collaboration yet, but we will hope to get some. Eventually, it's a teacher of a history teacher at our university, a professor who has ties to one of the Kiev universities that I know of. There might be even more, but I don't know about all of them. But it would be nice to have a bit more connections. Here's the next one. If there will be any problems with the payment, do you have options for postponements like academic leave? Yes, about the academic leave. For example, you're studying at our university and you think you cannot afford the next semester, then you can just pause your studies. That you can do all the time. Also, if you don't have the time, you can pause your studies, don't register for any course for the semester, and you won't be expelled. You can still get back. You can also do set your status to academic leave, so you don't have to pay. Because otherwise you would still have to pay 50 euros for the base fee and the costs for each course. But if you go on the academic leave, you don't have to pay. And in general, if you're about the payment, it is quite a certain time frame where you have time to pay the fees. And if you contact the colleagues early enough, it's possible. The next question is about how many attempts does a student have to pass the exam in case of failure? And what time frame is provided for reassembly? It depends a bit on the study program and the course. As far as I know, in most of our courses, you have unlimited attempts. You can try again and again. Just have to wait a bit to take it again. So usually, if you fail, you have to do the exam again next semester, but you do not have to do the course again. So that is an advantage. You don't have to go through the whole course again. I think for 3 semesters, you don't need to go through it. After that, if you still failed, then you will have to go through the course, register again, pay for the course to do the exam. But it's not that you are expelled if you fail it 3 times. I know some universities do have that, but as far as I know, not our university. The next question is, can I study after graduating from school, or do you need to complete the first year at a Ukrainian university? It depends a bit on your school and what kind of school system you are, and if the leaving certificate equals the school leaving certificates, which is necessary for studying. If you want to check it yourself, you can either contact our student service, they can check it for you. If you tell them what kind of school you are studying at, or you can go to this website and check for yourself. It's a data bank which is used to assess different certificates. So I hope it arrived in the chat. So yeah, in general, it depends a bit on the school type that you take part. The next question, it's quite specific. You received a bachelor degree in computer science and you would like to become a machine learning engineer. Which specialty at your university should I choose? We have computer science at our university, and we also offer something in the part of data science, which leads into the direction. But This is quite specific, so I would like to ask you either write me later an email or contact the student service. So I can forward it to the faculty because I think they can tell you a bit better what kind of courses and programs you should take part in. The next question is about the preparatory courses, what they include. And does this include a lesson about German language specialized terminology? We have a lot of prep courses, for example, how do you study at our university? How does it work? We also have bridging courses, for example, for mathematics. We have the language courses. We have how do you do academic writing? What we do not have yet, but we plan to do actually is about the German language specialized terminology. But in our study bridge program, we have a glossary about FernUni. We can find an overview of the typical terms that we use in our university in German. So there you can already find quite a bit, but we want to do it a bit bigger in the future and do a course for international students to help you with that. Next question is, did I understand correctly from the description on your website that the marks for German language course obtained at the Studienkolleg can be counted instead of providing a language certificate? Again, I sent you the link. We have a list of proofs of the language competences that the university accepts. It's in a website. I hope you can access it. If not, let me know. Or you can write me and I will send it to you, and you see different options. And as far as I know, usually a Studienkolleg, if you finished it, it should be sufficient as language proof, but maybe take a look yourself again. So the next question is, are diplomas obtained at FernUni somehow different from the diplomas of other not online universities? I answered the question before, and no, it's not different. It's the usual bachelor degrees, master degrees that you have is, for example, bachelor 180 ECTS. It's all the same. We do offer additionally certain certificates that you can do that are non-traditional, but other universities also offer certificates. Does an age of student matter when applying to university? No, it does not matter. It doesn't matter your age, as long as you have the qualifications, entrance qualifications, that is all fine. How is the writing and defense of course diploma thesis happens? Usually, I think you're talking about the bachelor or master thesis. That's what I think of. Usually you decide yourself in what subject you want to do your bachelor thesis or master thesis, and you contact the teacher and professor of the course or the subject and ask him or her if you can do your thesis with him or her. And that's how it is decided. And of course, you have to apply for it, fill out a form, you do your thesis, that is a subject of your thesis. And yeah, you write it and you get counseling with your professor. And if you have to defend it, it depends a bit. Master thesis is usually, yes, I have a defendants, but that can be online as well. Bachelor thesis, not necessarily. You just hand it in. The next question is also about the examination sessions conducted at FernUniversität. Yes, as I mentioned, it differs a lot on the course. Each professor, each teacher has a different exam method. Some are the traditional classic exams where you sit and you get a paper and you have to answer the questions. Those can take place in person or online with a proctor software, but some exams are also where you have to do certain assignments throughout the semester, and you collect the assignments. And if you hand them in, then you have fulfilled the course, or you have to write a paper at the end of the course. So it's always a bit different. Sometimes you can also decide to do an oral exam instead of a written exam. You contact your teacher and ask if is it possible to do that, and then you can do an oral exam, for example, via Zoom. The next question, is it possible to get a student visa and an international student card after entering your university? Um, you get a student card, which is recognized, but you do not get a student visa for Germany because you do not need to be in Germany for studying at our university. So no visa, but you get a student card. The next question is it possible to enter FernUni without a Studienkolleg? It is via the test AS. I will write it also in the chat, which if you finish it, you can entrance our bachelor programs from next year on. It's quite new that we implemented it. There are some universities which accept this test, and you can check for the dates and the places where you can take the test. And as I mentioned before, it's a competence-based test, so it's not that much about knowledge, but about competences. It shows if you are able to study, so to say. So you have to decide what kind of degree program you are interested in. For example, the natural sciences, then you take the so-called T-test for the technological studies, or for example, business administration takes the economic tests. So the next question is about how many persons in the study group size at FernUni. That depends completely. Usually we have, because we are a big university, in the basic courses, there can be a few hundred students, like in lectures. Maybe you know big lecture halls at universities. But the more you advance in your studies, the smaller the courses get. So you can be in a course with just a few other fellow students. And also about group work, usually if you have to do group work, those are smaller study group sizes. So it gets more familiar the longer you do the studies. So it's a bit similar to traditional universities. At the beginning, it's all big and gets a bit smaller in the end. The next one, do students have to pay for retaking a failed exam? Not until the third semester. You have time 2 times after you failed to do it again without paying for the course again, to go through the course again, so you can still take the exam again. After that, you will have to take again for the course and go through the course again, pay again. The next question, is it possible to have a personal consultation with a professor if it's necessary? Yes. I think some students sometimes are shy to contact the professor because it's a distance teaching university, but we have the professors, but also tutors and mentors that are always happy to help, and you can contact them. Mostly they decide in which way. If it's via email, you can call them via phone, and even if in case you should live nearby, you can maybe even do an in-person consultation, which is of course not very common at our university, but it's not that they are distant away, and no, they are always happy to help. So mostly they have also appointments that you can meet via Zoom or Teams or just via email, what you like. The next question is about, is it possible to study at FernUni at the same time as studying at another university? Yes, in general, that is no problem. If you study already at a German university, then the only thing is that you get a different status at our university. But that's some detail which doesn't need to bother you. You can still study at FernUni. The next question is, please tell us about the Teilzeitstudium study format. Am I correct in my understanding that this makes it possible to fully complete the specialty program, which is only stretched over time? And how does the issue with payment change then? Okay, so if you want to study part-time, Teilzeit, There is no strict distinction between part or full-time, because each semester, again, you decide what kind of courses, how many modules, what you want to do for the next semester. So go through the list, you can decide, I just want to take one course. You can do 3 or 4 or 5, and you can change that each semester again. So you do not need to contact the administration, say, okay, now I want to switch to part-time, now I want to switch to full-time. You don't need to do that. You have full control what pace you choose. So you can take, if you study full-time, a bachelor degree takes about 3 years, as any other universities, and you can stretch it over time as much as you like. So if you study part-time, do maybe half of the work in a semester, then usually it's about 6 years. You can even take much longer than that if you like. So you can do your bachelor in 10, 15 years if you like to. And the thing with the payment is, as I mentioned before, you pay what you do. So each course is, the higher the ECTS, the bigger the course, the more it costs. And if you don't do a course at all, you can do this leaving status, so you don't have to pay. So that is also an advantage, that you don't, if sometimes financial wise it gets a bit tough at a certain time, you can just stop for a while. But you can still be a student at FernUni. You don't need to be exmatriculated and enroll again. It's just that you say, okay, I'm leaving this semester, just a semester, but next time I'm going full in again, and that's fine. So that is what I mean about the flexibility of the program. So I think those are the Q&A questions, but there were a few questions also in the big public chats. I hope I will have the time to go through them. I think most of them I already addressed in the Q&A section, but let me see. Again, a question about from Ankit Sharma, who's interested in the bachelor degree in computer science and already has a bit of prior education, and already finished the first year of bachelor's computer application. If you already finished 1 year of studies in your home country and you did exams and you can show that you studied, then you can start studying at our university immediately. You don't need the test us or any other qualification. That is fine. So that is a big advantage of that. Yeah, now it's shown. Thanks for the support to show the question. Okay, I think those have been already published. I just see if there's anything that I overlooked for now. If you like, I'm still here in the meeting for some time, so even if 1 hour is over, you can still stay a bit and ask me any questions. Again, the question about the test AS exam, if you need it or if you can skip it, and what is necessary. So it depends a bit if you have any other school leaving certificates. That is the first part. Most of you probably have already or will in near future finish your school, and then you have a school leaving certificate. And you can contact our university and they will check if that is sufficient to study, because it depends a bit on the kind of school. We have a complicated school system in Germany, and not every school qualifies for studying. So they will check that. And if they say, no, you cannot study yet at our university, then you have the option to do the test as, which is better than going to a Studienkolleg, which was mentioned before, because those are quite expensive and they take a long time. You usually take at least half a year or even 1 year for those Studienkollegs to go through it, finish it also with an exam, and then you can start studying. With the test as, you can prepare a bit for it, and it's competency based. So you prove that you are able to study because you have the capabilities to study. And if you finish that, then you get a certificate usually with points. There are, I think 100 is a mean average, and you can go above or beyond, and then you can see if go with that to us and apply for the degree. So I hope that answers the question. Unfortunately, again, there isn't any information yet online about the test as because we will start it for the next upcoming semester in summer. But I think it's still interesting to know that we make it possible. And against the open access program, you do not need any qualifications for it. You can do the basic courses of a program. And that's a good start usually. Also, if you want to see if FernUni is the right thing for you. So I think I'm still scrolling through, see if there are any more questions. I did not mention that many degree programs that we have. You can check out our website, or you can ask me also afterwards what kind of degree programs we offer. I just wanted to go through it in detail. Yes, I think I'm not sure if I already answered the question about the degree program and if the person is eligible to study. If you already finished a study, then it's no problem. If you started a study for at least 1 year and you have taken part in exams, you finished the exams, or even if you finished your study, that's okay. Then you only need the language qualification for German. But generally, it's possible. I see a question I haven't answered yet. Diana is interested in the law bachelor's program, and you would like to see the training program. Let me check. We offer in law actually the state exam as well. In law in Germany, you have a state exam. You need to do it if you want to become a lawyer, for example. And besides the state exam, you can also do the bachelor if you prefer that. I will send you the link to the study portal of the Bachelor of Laws. And I think maybe what interests you most is content of the study. I write it here in the chat. Let me know if you can open it. There you have all the modules that are part of the bachelor program. In total, it's 180 ECTS. And if you want to switch to the state exam, you can also do that during your study because it's quite similar and it's different tracks of the same study. And again, I think if you are interested in detail about certain study programs, just inform me afterwards because there's quite some information to give you and which there isn't that much time now at the moment. So just any question you have, you can write to me and I will give you as much information as I can. So to go a bit more into detail what program you are interested in.